Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me. In front of back. In front of back. I be in my own world, y'all. Why most producers stay broke. One of the main reasons I seen throughout my career one of the main reasons I seen a lot of producers stay broke is one, they was chasing clout over business. You got a lot of people out here like who chase the clout. You know what I'm saying? I done seen niggas tell artists that they never even met in life, never had a conversation with or nothing, but they throwing their email up all day, every day with beats, and then turn around and be mad when the artist end up recording on one of the songs and doing one of the beats, and they put it out, and that bitch go crazy. Now they mad because they ain't getting no money off of it. That's because you was chasing the clout instead of doing the business right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I be trying to, you can't just like me. I wasn't one of them people that was just chasing after bigger names and big placements. And I never did that. I fuck with who fuck with me. You get what I'm saying? I fuck with people around me and who fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? For a bigger feature come along, then hey, let's do it. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like artists, I ain't gonna lie, this is something Zay told me. He told me this back in 2016. That nigga Zay told me, he said, man, look, you already, he like, nigga, I ain't even know he knew who Vezzo and Peasy was at the time. You hear me? I was down in Atlanta at some event he was having, and he kicked it for a second. There was the other people there, but we got a chance to kick it for a quick second. You get what I'm saying? And he was telling me, he like, man, fuck chasing a bigger name artist. Fuck chasing a big placement with artists you don't even know, you never did business with, you never even been around. You know what I'm saying? The nigga, and he was like, nigga, you already locked in with Vezzo and Peasy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, niggas, just focus on building a sound with them. You know what I'm saying? And that was the best shit. That was the best advice I could ever get, especially at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time I'm young, I'm thinking, I want to go to Atlanta. I want to be in Atlanta and do this, boom, boom. Or I got to be here so I can get around the big artists and all of that, boom, boom. When honestly, I feel like me working with the artists I work with and building a sound with these guys actually helped take me to another level that I don't think I would have got to if I would have been trying to chase that other route. You get what I'm saying? So that's the one of the main advice I got for cats. Like, nigga, you got to, cuz you gotta find you an artist and build a sound with that artist. You get what I'm saying? Build the sound with that artist and make sure you have the business locked in. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta have the business locked in. And then another reason why I feel like a lot of producers stay broke is because they don't have multiple streams of income. You gotta build multiple streams of income. You can't exchange time for money for the whole rest of your life. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you making beats, all right, that's cool. Learn how to mix and master. That's a whole nother income. You get what I'm saying? Nigga, make you a couple dollars, save you up some money, get your own building and build you a recording studio, or you ain't got to get a building. Because if you got an extra room in your crib, in your basement, or anywhere, whatever it is, nigga, if you really want this shit, do it. And now you got a whole nother stream of income. You got studio time. Now you can hire, if you get you a building, that's why I say get a building. Because if you get a building, now you can bring engineers in. You can hire engineers, producers. Now they got clientele. They bringing their clientele in. Now you got a whole nother stream of income that's really is passable for you. Engineers in them is changing time for money, but you as the owner, that's passable income. That's money you making while you sleeping. You get what I'm saying? And then I always tell people about investing. Of course, you got to know how to invest in things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation. You get what I'm saying? But just within the music, these are lanes that you could do. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's so many ways. And then don't just try to, I feel like another reason why a lot of producers stay broke is they try to stick to one genre. Don't, like, nigga, you a producer. That means you not an artist. You're an artist. Typically when they come out, they got to typically stick to the sound that they come out with, because that's their sound. You get what I'm saying? Drake can't be nobody but Drake. He can make the different type of music he make, but he gonna be Drake. You get what I'm saying? But versus a producer can go from here making some hip hop shit, then probably go over here, make a gospel record or a country record or whatever, techno, Baltimore club music, you feel me? Rave music, you know what I'm saying? You could do is so many different levels. And then I feel like you gotta learn how to just look at all the ways to get paid instead of only just looking at, stop expecting people to just give y'all the business or just expecting motherfuckers to do certain business. Oh, niggas, you as a man gotta learn the business. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn all the ways you can get paid. There's multiple ways you can get paid for one song. And I went over that in another video. So, and then, like you said, another reason why a lot of them stay broke is they be selling their beats. They be selling their beats for too cheap for too long. You know what I'm saying? I understand if you selling your beats for cheap just to get some traction, just to get some motion. But at some point, you gotta up that ticket. But you can only up that ticket if you actually making good beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you actually making good beats, then you could actually make a good ticket. Then you actually increase your price on your beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sell yourself short. Another reason why a lot of producers stay broke is they don't learn about marketing. And I'm grateful that I was able to literally take the time out and really learn about marketing. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, through the grace of God, I was a cat that I did for like about 10 years. I didn't do no marketing. Everything was off word of mouth. But through the grace of God, everything been going well that way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, shit been good. But that's when you doing good business and you ain't out here trying to fuck people over, do bad business, do no lame shit. You ain't doing no sucker shit. You just stand on good business. You know what I'm saying? Then your name is good. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, but once I started doing the marketing, and I started seeing a whole different bag. Because now it's not just working with hip hop artists. Now I'm working with all types of artists. I got country artists I'm working with. I got a techno music guy that I'm working with. I got all different type of artists that I'm working with. And the guy that I've been working with was more like the techno Baltimore club music, dance music type of vibe. That's been taking me to a whole nother level creatively. You know what I'm saying? But it all came from me starting to do the marketing, because I started noticing I had notoriety when I'm moving. I done lived in probably about 4-5 different states already. And me just being in different states, I done seen people knew the sound. When I tell people my tag, and I don't ever even say shit, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm low key. I don't even be like people to know who I am a lot of time. But sometimes certain people, I'll be out of the state, we get to talking about music or whatever, they get to talk about certain shit or whatever. Then they ask me if I'm into the music or something. Then I'm like, you ever heard the realest? They're like, oh, bro, that's you. But that's when I started realizing, me being in other states, the first place I went to and I realized it was when I was living in Florida. When I went to Florida, that was the first place I realized it. I'm in a whole nother place. And I'm just in a motherfucking studio, and I was mixing a TJX6 album. And as I'm mixing this shit, or whatever, one of the other owners of the studio or whatever, they was walking past and they came in. They was like, oh no, bro, you the one that be on mixing this shit or whatever. I'm like, whatever. He was like, oh man, I'm a big fan of your work, bro. Like that one song, I heard how you had did that shit and you made the vocal go to the left speaker to the right, and then that bitch wrapped around and came back. He was just excited. Me seeing that excitement, and I'm in a whole nother state. I'm like, damn, that was the first time. Then it happened again. When I'm in Atlanta, I kind of expected it. But when I went to Texas and it kept happening in Texas, I'm like, oh shit. So they hip, they know the name, they know the work. So I got the notoriety, but I never gave a fuck about the fame. Fuck the fame. I don't care about the fame. You get what? I don't care about the fame. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed once I started doing that marketing, and shit took me to a whole nother level. I can't even cap to you. Shit took me to a whole nother level. And I was even beating myself up a little bit at first. Damn, I should have been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Then one of the most common reasons that a lot of producers stay broke is due to inconsistency. You know what I'm saying? tell people you gotta be able to be consistent even during the times where it get discouraging. You get what I'm saying? You gotta still be consistent. And what I mean by being consistent, because you could make beats all day, but if you ain't sending them beats out, posting them beats out. See, me, I grew up in the era. I started learning about music in the era when all you had out was Zaytoven, Scott Storch, Manny Fresh, and like that. So you ain't have YouTube videos showing you how to do all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I literally had to learn by just fucking with shit. You know what I'm saying? But now y'all got it easy. Y'all got the whole tight beat lane. It wasn't a tight beat lane back in the day. And that's kind of why I probably still haven't gotten off into it. I fucked with it every now and then, but I ain't never really fall off into it because I think I'm so used to, you ain't gonna see a Zaytoven posting no tight beats. You ain't gonna see a Scott Storch posting a tight beat or a Manny Fresh posting a tight beat. But the thing is, I understand it's a whole nother lane. It's a whole nother world today because I know people that's all they do is post tight beats. And they living good, nigga. They done bought them a house, car, and everything just off posting tight beats. You get what I'm saying? So it's a whole nother game, and I just haven't been able to fall off into it yet. But that's probably because, thankfully, I was able to build the name, and I came up in a certain era to where I didn't have to I ain't got to do the tight beats. You get what I'm saying? But inconsistency, if you ain't uploading consistently, as far as if you is gonna do the tight beat, you gotta be uploading consistent. And you gotta have some fire ass beats. And then with that, it's kind of like, because I feel like a beat could be hard as shit and it might not just be an artist vibe at that time. So I feel like it's a mixture of, you gotta have some hard ass beats and a little bit of whatever the artist vibing to, for real. And then another thing, I seen this going on a lot. I done seen some producers all around the US. You feel what I'm saying? I done seen some producers start getting a bag and start getting a little bit of money, and then they start spending instead of reinvesting. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I was the type of guy that every dollar that I was making, I was reinvesting because I wanted to have my own studio, my own building, my own shit. You get what I'm saying? So I see a lot of guys to where they would just want to hurry up and get them a chain and get the jewelry and woo. You know what I'm saying? But yet don't even have their own studio or nothing. You get what I'm saying? I done seen a lot of producers like that all around the United States. You know what I'm saying? And there's no shade towards them. Like, dang, everybody got their own priorities. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't want to have a recording studio. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they, want all of that, all the shit that comes with running a recording studio. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I said there ain't no shade. It's just a preference thing. You know what I'm saying? Me, I wanted to reinvest. I always start business wise. So I'm like, even when I'm not in town, I'm living in a whole nother state, but I still got my studio. You know what I'm doing while I'm living in a whole nother state, doing what I'm doing down there and getting, you know what I'm saying? So me, I just always, because like it's chestnut checkers, you know? And then another reason why I feel like artists, another reason why I feel like producers stay broke is because they be waiting on that one big artist. They waiting on that one big artist. You know what I'm saying? Like just finding an artist to build with. No, they want that one big artist. You know what I'm saying? That's what they waiting on. You feel me? And you gotta go build that sound with somebody. Get you an artist and build a sound with them. You know what I'm talking about? Hey man, what they say, hard work beats talent when talent fails. What is that saying? Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And that's the realest shit ever. Because you can have the hardest beat in your computer. You can make the hardest beat in the world. You know what I'm saying? But if you not doing that consistently, Lil JoJo down the street that's in his basement making 10 motherfucking beats a day. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna see Lil JoJo surpass you, go crazy and do his thing. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta be willing to be consistent, man.